This is a Greebly, the sort of thing you'd stick to a prop or to a flat surface to create an impression for the audience and to support the narrative. Now this is a Screebly, and a Screebly you'd stick on the back of a screen and you'd send content to it to do the same thing, to create an impression and to support the narrative so that the audience believes that the story is moving along. Now, because the content that we send to this screen is in a web framework, we can send events to it and we can time those events to fit in with the narrative. So, for example, we can put this alarm up, or we can send it off to a different sort of page that has a different sort of alarm, or we could send it off to some SVG gauges, which are just gently animating in the background, which create that kind of calm technical environment or whatever it is that we want to show. In this case, we've got a clock that you might find on the reception of an office, and we could send it, say, a fire alarm so that everybody has to clear out the office and the protagonist then goes about their business. To explain this further, I've created a small demo that has 3 elements. It has a gauge, it has an SVG image, and it has the third UI element which comes over it, which is effectively the alarm element. Now the gauge has got a name of its object and it receives events, so we can send it up to the value 40, we can send it up to the value 100, we can send it to the value 40. Now you'll see that both of these are responding the same, and that's because they've both got the same name. We can send it deltas, so we can send a change. I'm going to talk about this in another video. This is for actually controlling main sockets, but I've just hijacked the events at the moment so it supports what we're doing here. Now, let's just hide that element and talk exclusively about this SVG image. Now, the thing about this SVG image is it's designed so that you can make it in layers. In other words, your graphics department can make it all in layers, and they then send layer events, and layers will get switched on and off, which is a really quick way for you to create the kind of screens that you want to see in your narrative. So here we go. We oops, no, we didn't want to do that. We wanted to send a layer command for locked and a layer command for ready. Moving on, in fact, let's just show that whole UI. Moving on, this is a Screebly that's been covered in Greeblies to create all these backgrounds and all the rest of it. Now, the Greeblies are connected to one of our standard control boards, which means that if we operate these switches, you'll see that they're generating events. And if we operate these switches, you'll see that again, they're generating events, and this is going to generate some events in there. So this could be a hero prop. Now, the important thing about these Screeblies is they're generating genuine, real content. So it's real for the actor, it's real for the audience, and you're not having to put anything in post. Now, we've made a whole pile of these Screeblies, and we've been buying screens of all sorts of different sizes, like this. There's a little tiny one up the back there. There's a particularly small one there. And they're available for rent or to buy. So if you have a production that needs this kind of facility or these kind of content, please do get in touch.